2 Kings. Philasha, the love of self. It just sounds so much better in Greek. Philatia is a dead end. Elijah discovered these dead ends over and over in his life, and therefore found himself needing to discover new ways to fill the ever-growing void in his heart. He still loved partying, and he still loved Mary. Now in third year, Mary was in her last year, he had this constant need for more. Something was lacking deeply in his life. He thought that all he needed to do was devote himself more seriously to his studies. He would discover that this never filled the void. Academia had him bowing at her altars as he emptied himself in his studies. Late-night vigils, writing up essay after essay. Abstinence from food was a common requirement as he pushed through his academic labors. And though Elijah's mind was expanding with more and more knowledge, he found his existential angst grow within him. He had a hunger for something gnawing at him on the inside. Mama smiled at her sweet Elijah. "You are hungry for my son. Only he can fill you. Only he can satisfy you. He can place in you a fountain of everlasting life flowing from your heart, quenching your need for anything else." She covered him with her veil for a short moment, just as Sally had been asking her in that very moment. Elijah closed his eyes for a moment. It was as though a gentle breeze had just brushed up against his deepest inner self. Inexpressible warmth tickled his heart, something akin to peace, and then it was gone. The thing that is clear is that heaven doesn't look upon those still in the flesh in the way one would imagine. For example, the Holy Spirit never left Elijah for one moment, not even while he was sinning. The fact of the matter is that, somehow, God supports, maintains and keeps in existence, well, everyone and everything. He makes his sun shine on the good and the evil. That is why Mama had no problem covering Elijah with her veil, even though Elijah was entrenched in a life of self-love. It would almost be easier to be far from God and to hate him and the heavenly ones if they were just a little more spiteful and judgmental of us, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. Don't spend too much time running. Remember, you are one of us. Heaven is waiting. Elijah, for some strange reason, remembered Uncle Ansi's parting words to him. "Oh, Uncle Ansi, you have no idea how far that is from the truth. You have no idea." Third year was an intense year for Elijah. 3 of his 5 courses were poetry classes. He found himself writing quite a bit of poetry himself. This type of introspection often led him to an inner anguish. A tension was developing in his inner person. He had no peace. He wanted peace. He remembered his childhood. He ached. He wrote. Seasons. Consistently inconsistent. The death of one fallen tree, moss-covered and forgotten, still carries within it the rings of its story. Its core bears a memory that can't be erased. Summer and spring, winter and fall, each ring calling back to a time when both robin and squirrel had of this very tree made home and shelter. At the core of me, there are rings, a heart inconsistently consistent, crusted with an impenetrable bark, now moss-covered, now covered by sleet, on the inside aching for spring. Of a new me, this particular poem brought him back to his time as a child in the forest, a time when he had peace, a time of inner harmony, a time he had left behind. Omri, a fellow third-year English student who was in a lot of the same classes as Elijah. Elijah used to call him OM. "I am brilliant," thought Elijah. "What a perfect name for my gentle friend from India." OM. Omri was indeed gentle and peaceful, very peaceful. He was a devout follower of Sri Satya Sai Baba. In fact, he would bring Sai Baba's picture with him to class. Omri would place it on the corner of his desk. Sai Baba, Elijah had learned, was a man who had claimed himself to be God. Elijah was fascinated by both OM and Sai Baba. He found it weird and exotic to think of a man, kind of like Jesus, who declared himself to be God, but was still alive. He had millions of followers all around the world. Omri was not shy to share his beliefs with Elijah. Elijah found it strange that he was so open to OM's religion, having abandoned his own beliefs. OM would tell stories of how Sai Baba would materialize things out of nowhere: gold, flowers, candies, and desserts. He taught that all religions were the same, philosophically impossible, but much more acceptable than Christianity's claim to possess the sole, absolute truth. "Why are you so calm?" "Me? Calm? You should have seen me as a child. You can ask my mom about that." Omri smiled and offered. "I am calm because Sai Baba makes me calm. I wake up every morning and devote myself to an hour of meditation. I sing to him and offer him worship. Elijah was puzzled. An hour? If he prayed his Ikpaya prayers for 10 minutes, he thought himself to be a saint. So you are telling me you sit there for an hour meditating? Yes, Elijah. I enter into a state of deep inner consciousness. I repeat a simple mantra. When I am done, I am calm and have inner peace. Elijah was weary of religion in general. All religions. Although OM had invited Elijah several times to the ashram, he always refused. He wanted deeply what OM had, but didn't want anything to do with prayer or religion. He remained fascinated with his friend's devotion to Sai Baba. He did, however, accept to go to a yoga studio with OM. Elijah thought that yoga was innocent. Everyone did it. He, of course, did not know that every single position in yoga was dedicated to a Hindu god. OM had forgotten to mention that to him. Elijah's guardian angel would think it strange that they called it a yoga studio and not a yoga temple. He would wait for him outside the temple. Sai Baba, prayed Omri, please reveal yourself to Elijah and bring forth your deep consciousness upon him. Sai Baba heard nothing. He couldn't. He was 12,529 kilometers away. Mary also loved yoga. So peaceful, so relaxing. It's like a spa for your soul, right, Elijah? Yeah, I love it. Namaste. Namastami love. Thursday nights was devoted to their yoga. Quite a bit of ritual had been put into their Thursdays. Elijah's classes ended at 4 p.m., and Mary had the whole afternoon off. So Mary would spend the afternoon preparing a special dinner for the two of them at her downtown apartment. The fighting at home had gotten so intense that she decided to divorce her parents and get her own place downtown. She would then meet Elijah at Trinity College at 4:15 p.m. so they could both walk down Hoskin Avenue to Sivananda Yoga Vedana Center. It was a 9-minute walk. During that walk, both Elijah and Mary had purposed in their hearts to prepare themselves for their yoga classes by walking in silence. They wanted to prepare their inner sanctuaries, clear their mind. They were welcomed at the studio with a sign that read, "No shoes in the studio. You are in a sacred space." Thought Elijah after reading that sign for the first time. I guess Moses was into yoga as well. Elijah often laughed at his own jokes. Afterwards, Mary and Elijah would peacefully walk back to her place, where they would have the romantic meal that Mary had prepared. Every once in a while, Elijah would surprise Mary by going to a Blockbuster in the morning to rent a movie. They would cuddle together on a couch and watch the movie in each other's arms. In those moments, Elijah felt peace. Peace. In Elijah's mind, peace was when one found themselves in a state of perfect relaxation where no external conditions could get in the way of one's comforts. Elijah was wrong. This too was Falasha, self-love. Friday mornings. Elijah almost always felt a little more anxious on Friday mornings. Whether he slept over at Mary's place or not, he always felt more anxious. This would be overcome with a good dose of weekend partying. That kind of peace never could last. Life is good, Elijah lied to himself.